I fake getting fired when customers go nuclear. And honestly, it's the best part of my week. So look, I'm 20 years old, knee-deep in student loans, and spending my weekends slinging hash at this hole-in-the-wall diner about 3 blocks from campus. It's not glamorous. The floor is always sticky, the coffee maker sounds like it's dying, and the AC only works when it feels like it. But the pay covers my textbooks and keeps ramen off my dinner rotation. So I show up, smile, and deal with whatever comes through that door. Most days, totally fine. We've got our regulars. There's Linda, who orders the same thing every Saturday morning, split, scrambled eggs with wheat toast, no butter, and tips exactly 15% down to the penny. There's the group of nursing students who camp out for hours with one order of fries between them, and I genuinely don't mind because they bust their own table. Normal people, reasonable people. But then there are the others. You know the type. They walk in already mad about something that has nothing to do with you, and they're just hunting for a target. Maybe their day sucked. Maybe they hate their life. Maybe they just get off on making someone in an apron feel small. Whatever it is, they don't come in hungry. They come in loaded. It's never about anything real either. I'm talking full-blown, red-in-the-face meltdowns over things like their toast being quote-unquote too crispy, or their orange juice having pulp, even though our menu literally says fresh squeezed, and fresh squeezed has pulp. Or my personal favorite, their coffee isn't hot enough, which actually means it's not scalding lava that could double as a weapon. I used to just stand there and take it, apologize, offer to remake things, smile until my face hurt, do the whole customer service robot routine while they treated me like I personally ruined their entire existence. And then I'd go home feeling like garbage, replaying it in my head, wondering why I didn't stand up for myself. But then something happened that changed everything. It was a Sunday morning, mid-semester, and we were slammed. I'm talking every table full, tickets piling up, the kind of shift where you don't stop moving for 4 hours straight. And in walks this guy, probably mid-50s, wearing a polo shirt and the kind of watch that costs more than my tuition. He sits down at table 6, and I can already tell he's in a mood. Doesn't make eye contact, doesn't say good morning, just grunts his order at me like I'm supposed to be grateful he's even speaking. Fine, whatever. I put in his order: over easy eggs, bacon, white toast, coffee. Standard stuff. Kitchen gets it out in maybe 10 minutes, which is honestly fast considering how busy we were. I bring it over with a smile, set it down, ask if he needs anything else. He doesn't even look at the plate before he starts. These eggs are wrong. I glance down. They look perfect. Whites fully cooked, yolks intact, exactly what over easy is supposed to be. I'm sorry, sir, what's wrong with them? They're overcooked. I said over easy. These are basically over medium. Now, I've been doing this long enough to know what over easy, over medium, and over hard look like. These were textbook over easy. But I stay calm. I can definitely have the kitchen remake them if you'd like. You should have gotten it right the first time. Okay, deep breath. You're absolutely right. I apologize. Let me grab those for you. I reach for the plate. He pulls it back. Forget it. I'll eat them, but this is ridiculous. What kind of place can't even cook eggs right? And then he just keeps going. Doesn't stop. Starts going off about how nobody takes pride in their work anymore, how people my age are lazy and entitled, how he's been coming here for years and the service has gone downhill, which is funny because I've literally never seen him before in my life. I'm standing there, face burning, aware that other tables are watching, and I don't know what to do. I can't argue, I can't walk away, I just have to stand there and absorb it while he unloads whatever anger he brought in with him. That's when my manager, Kyle, walks over. Kyle's not some corporate suit. He's 22, a senior at the same school I go to, works this job to cover rent, and sends most of his paycheck home to his mom. We're cool. He gets it. And I can see from the look on his face that he's had enough of this guy. He walks up, doesn't even look at the customer, just looks straight at me and says, loud enough for half the diner to hear, "That's it, you're fired." I freeze. For like half a second, I genuinely think he's serious. And then I see the tiniest smirk pulling at the corner of his mouth. Oh, we're doing this. So I play along. I untie my apron slowly, let my hands shake a little, and look at Kyle with the most devastating puppy dog eyes I can manage. "Kyle, please, come on, I need this job." "Nope, can't have you messing up orders like this. Hand over the apron." "I'm trying to pay for school. I can't afford to lose this." "Should have thought about that before you served bad eggs." I let my voice crack. "Please, I'll do better, I swear." Kyle just shakes his head, stone-faced, like he's really doing this. like I'm really getting canned over some eggs that were completely fine. And the guy at table 6, his whole face changes. The anger just evaporates. His eyes go wide. He starts waving his hands like he's trying to physically push the situation away. Whoa, 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 hold on. It's not that serious. Kyle doesn't even look at him, just keeps staring me down. The guy's voice gets higher. The eggs are fine, actually. Totally fine. I was just having a bad morning. I let a single tear roll down my cheek. Not even fake. I was so close to losing it from the stress of the shift that it just kind of happened. Please don't fire me, I whisper. The customer's practically out of his seat now. Don't fire them! Seriously, it was my fault! I shouldn't have said anything! Kyle finally turns to him, crosses his arms. You're sure? Because you seemed pretty upset a minute ago. No, I overreacted. The food's great, really, I'm sorry. Kyle looks back at me, sighs like he's really torn about this decision, then hands my apron back. Fine, one more chance, but you're on thin ice. I tie it back on, sniffle a little, nod. Thank you, I won't mess up again. The guy leaves a $20 tip on a $12 check and doesn't make eye contact on his way out. Kyle and I went to the back and laughed until we couldn't breathe. And here's the thing, we've done it 3 more times since then. There was the woman who screamed at me because her pancakes came out, quote, too fluffy, which I genuinely didn't know was a problem a person could have. Kyle fired me. She immediately started backpedaling, said they were perfect actually, the fluffiest pancakes she'd ever had. There was the guy who demanded to speak to a manager because I didn't refill his water fast enough. He'd been waiting maybe 90 seconds, and when Kyle came over and canned me on the spot, the guy practically begged him to let me keep my job. Said he was just thirsty, no big deal. Definitely didn't mean to cause trouble. And there was the lady who threw a full-on tantrum because we were out of a specific type of jam. Not out of jam, out of one brand. Kyle fired me. She offered to go buy the jam herself and bring it back if it meant I could stay employed. Every single time. The second these people think their meltdown actually cost someone their livelihood, instant remorse, instant apologies. Suddenly everything's fine, and they didn't mean it, and they feel terrible. It's wild. And honestly, it feels amazing, because for once, they have to sit with the consequences of treating another human being like trash. For once, they have to realize that their bad day doesn't give them permission to destroy somebody else's. For once, they don't just get to walk away feeling justified. I told a couple friends about it last week, and they got kind of weird about it. Said it was messed up, because those people probably go home thinking they ruined some struggling college kid's life, that they might feel guilty for days or weeks, that it's manipulative. And you know what? I don't care. I don't feel bad. Not even a little. If you're the kind of person who screams at a 20-year-old over eggs, or toast, or jam, or literally anything else that doesn't actually matter, then maybe you deserve to sit in that guilt for a minute. Maybe you need that wake-up call. Maybe it'll make you think twice before you go nuclear on the next person just trying to do their job. I'm not saying I'm a hero. I'm just saying that if faking getting fired makes even one person realize that the kid behind the counter is an actual person with rent and bills and problems just like everyone else, then I'm gonna keep doing it. And honestly, it makes my shifts a hell of a lot more bearable. So yeah, that's my confession. Judge me if you want. But if you've ever worked in food service, you know exactly why this feels so good.
Related comments. Dude, I worked at a Red Lobster for 6 years, and I wish we'd thought of this. The amount of times I got screamed at over stuff I had zero control over is insane. Had a guy once throw a plate at me because his steak was too seasoned. It was pepper. Just regular black pepper that's on literally every steak we serve. The worst part is management never had our backs. They just comped the meal and let these people walk all over us because the customer is always right. Your manager sounds like an actual legend for doing this with you. Does your boss know you guys do this, or is it just between you two? Comment. I'm gonna get downvoted for this, but I think this is pretty messed up actually. Yeah, people shouldn't scream at service workers, that's obvious. But making someone think they got a person fired and then letting them walk around with that guilt is psychological manipulation. You're basically punishing them in a way that's disproportionate to what they did. Like, what if one of those people went home and couldn't sleep for days thinking they ruined someone's life? What if they have anxiety and this actually traumatized them? You're playing with people's emotions for your own satisfaction and calling it justice. That's not okay in my book. Author. I hear what you're saying, but respectfully, if someone's anxiety is so bad that they can't handle the consequences of screaming at a stranger over toast, maybe they shouldn't be screaming at strangers over toast. I'm not doing this to random nice people. I'm doing it to people who are actively being horrible. If that makes them feel guilty, good. That's called a conscience. Comment. This is genius. Literally genius. I'm a shift supervisor at a big box store, and I'm 100% stealing this idea. We have this one lady who comes in every week and makes someone cry. Not exaggerating, every single week. She's made 3 people quit. Last month, she screamed at one of my cashiers, a 17-year-old kid, because we wouldn't accept her return without a receipt for something she bought years ago. The kid was shaking and trying not to cry while this woman called her stupid and useless. I'm absolutely doing this next time she comes in. I don't even care if I get in trouble. The look on her face will be worth it. Comment. Okay, but can we talk about how this is literally lying to customers? Like, I get that they're being jerks, but you're still deceiving people and potentially damaging the restaurant's reputation. What if one of these people goes online and writes a review about how your diner fires employees over nothing? What if they tell their friends and it hurts business? Also, your manager is risking his job doing this. If the actual owner found out you guys were staging fake firings, you'd both probably get let go for real. Seems like a stupid risk to take just to make entitled customers feel bad. Author. The owner knows. Kyle told him after the first time, and he thought it was hilarious. He actually suggested we do it more often. Small family-owned places are different than corporate chains. The owner actually cares about us not getting treated like garbage. And honestly, if someone's going to write a bad review because they think we fired someone over their complaint, they were probably going to write a bad review anyway. Those people always do. Comment. I've been serving for 15 years, and this hits different. You're younger, so maybe you don't see it yet, but this job breaks you down over time. Every person who screams at you takes a little piece of your soul. After a while, you stop feeling like a person and start feeling like a punching bag that brings food. What you and your manager are doing is taking that power back. You're reminding these people that you're human and that their actions matter. Honestly, I think more places should do this. Maybe if people knew their tantrums had consequences, they'd think twice. My only question is, has anyone ever called your bluff? Like, has anyone ever been like, good, you should fire them? Because I feel like that would be the ultimate test. Author. Not yet, but honestly, if someone did that, I think Kyle would actually kick them out. There's playing along with angry customers, and then there's just being genuinely terrible. If someone was happy I got fired, they'd definitely be banned. From a psychological standpoint, this is actually really interesting. What you're doing is creating immediate accountability, which is something that's usually missing in customer service interactions. Normally, when someone has an outburst at a worker, they leave and never think about it again. There's no feedback loop. But you're creating one artificially. You're making them confront the potential harm of their behavior in real time. And based on your description, it's working, because people immediately de-escalate and apologize. The guilt they might feel afterward, that's called cognitive dissonance. They have to reconcile the image of themselves as a good person with the fact that they potentially caused someone to lose their job. That discomfort is actually what creates behavior change. So honestly, from a behavioral modification perspective, you might actually be making these people better. They'll probably think twice before exploding on the next service worker they encounter.
Write what you think about this situation. Also, if you like this video, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the bell to receive notifications about the latest videos. See you next time. Bye-bye.